Hi, my name is Arianna. I'm 17 years old, and here are 5 lessons I think I've learned earlier than most. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new, thank you for coming back and tuning in for another video. Today is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I'm in my car, I'm in a parking lot, and we're just going to do a little sit down talking video while I talk about some lessons I've learned. I love watching these kind of videos, but I often find that most of the podcasts I listen to and most of the videos that I watch of girls talking about lessons they've learned, they're all in their 20s. And as a teenager, I find it a little bit hard to relate to just because I'm not there yet. And I think for young girls, it's often for us to compare ourselves. Me comparing myself from my level 1 to their level 20 is just like not realistic. So I wanted to create a space here on my channel where younger girls like me can just relate, because I think I've had trouble finding like-minded people, whether that's in school, outside of school, but I always go to YouTube to listen to people talk and hear what they have to say. So if this video helps anybody, then my mission has been accomplished. But if you wanted to tune in just to listen, thank you so much for being here. I recently bought the new DJI mic minis. Can you see how little they are? They're so cute. And this little puff, it makes me so happy. I feel so professional. Let me know if you guys notice a difference in the audio. These were quite pricey, but I think they were worth the investment. Enough yapping for the intro. The first lesson I've learned is high school is so temporary. There's 2 routes you can go about this. Because high school is temporary, don't let it go to waste. Try new things, meet new people, make new experiences, make mistakes, and make the most of it. But on the other side, it's also not that deep. Yes, it's important to get good grades. It's important to actually do what you need to do, but it's also important that we don't stay stuck in it. Now, I know it's hard because we're there 5 days a week for hours and hours on end, so it's hard not to be consumed by it all. But it's important to know that there's life outside of it. This is such a small portion of our lives. Like, it is a tiny speck in such a grand adventure that I think we get so caught up in, and when it's time to graduate, it's like everybody doesn't know what they're doing, and that's normal. But I also feel like there's ways to prepare ourselves for that. One of the ways I liked to do that was to spend time alone, because it's important to know who you are outside of everybody else around you. Who are you when you're not with your friends? Who are you when you're not with your family? It's important to know who you are as a person, your strengths, your weaknesses, and that's how you genuinely grow. I think when I started spending more time with myself, that's when I realized so many different things. Going back on track, I think high school is just such a small portion of our lives, and we don't need to be consumed in all of the little things, because it's not forever. Now, as a senior, 2nd semester, 4 months left of this, and it's over. Like, what do I have outside of school? I think it's so important to spend time with yourself and know who you are outside of your friend group, outside of your family, outside of the people that you spend time with. Who are you when you are alone? And at the end of the day, that's who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. The message I kind of want to get across with this is that there's more to life outside of high school. There's more to life out of what we're told in high school. And that brings me to my next point, and that is you are a product of your environment. I've always stood on this, and I just think it is so true. And this applies to everything in your life. Your friends, your family, your home, your room, your space, everything around you, your environment truly affects who you are, and you are a product of your environment. If you have a messy room, you have messy thoughts, you have a messy mind, you're not organized. If you have friends who are doing things, but you're like, oh, I don't associate with that, or like, I don't really do that, you will. And I'm speaking from experience. It's important to pick your friends wisely, pick who you hang out with wisely, not let everyone in, and not let everyone be a friend, because especially in high school, it doesn't work that way. And I learned very quickly that not everything is butterflies and rainbows, but we have the power to pick who we want around us. We have the power to pick who we want to let in our lives, and who are the people we trust, who are the people we want to tell sensitive information to. And then as far as your physical environment, I genuinely notice a difference when my room is messy and when my room is not. I don't know if you guys have heard people say that your room is a reflection of your mind, but I think that is so true, because when my room is messy, my mind is messy. I'm not organized, I'm not thinking straight, I don't know what's going on. Rather than when my room is clean, it's so much easier for me to have clearer thoughts. It's so much easier for me to be organized and actually want to follow through with things just because I just feel fresh. I know not everybody's the same in that aspect. I think some people can thrive no matter what, but your environment does have a lot to do with who you are as a person, how you're feeling on the daily, your mood. And I just want you guys to know that you guys have the power to change it. Obviously there are some restrictions and limitations. You can't pick who your family is, but you can pick your friends. You can pick what you choose to tell people and how you curate your space. The one thing that I want to be the biggest takeaway from this point is that you can pick your friends. You get to pick who's in your life. You have that power. And I think once you surround yourself with good people, you just feel good. Like the people who make you laugh, the people who know you can trust, who you know will be there for you, people who give you your same energy back. Being able to have that power and that say of who you want in your life and who you want around you is honestly just so relieving. And I think that not a lot of people truly think that they have the power, or they're not even brave enough to really use it. Once you finally let go of what no longer serves you, new opportunities arise, and it's so relieving, because then you feel like you're finally where you're supposed to be, like this was meant for all along. But you have to go through those steps. But you can't skip chapters in life. You have to meet every single character. You have to go through the plot. You have to go through the ups and the downs. Because how boring would a book be if you read the first page and flipped to the last page and then that was it? That would be like the stupidest thing ever. All the goodness, all the process, the good, the bad, like that's what makes a story. That's what makes a story good. That's what makes it worth reading, worth your time even. That's the way that we have to think about our lives. The ups, the downs, the everything, it's purposeful. We need it. There's a reason for it. Now, speaking about how we have the power to change our environment and how we have the power to choose who we want in our life and who we don't want in our life, the next lesson that I've learned is that if it doesn't give you peace, profit, or purpose, then it doesn't deserve your time, energy, or attention. I finally realized what my morals were, who I was as a person and what I valued, the characteristics in a person that I valued. And that's when I realized that some of these things in my life no longer served me. And as soon as I finally let it go, the things that I did need and the things that I knew I deserved finally came into my life. When you put out that energy into the world that you deserve more, you will get more. Like, I don't know how to use words to describe this or even explain what I'm talking about, but if you've experienced it, you know. If there's been any instance in your life where you let go of something and something like immediately came back, then you just know. I think this one is quite self-explanatory, but I grew up feeling like a people pleaser. I did everything for other people. I didn't want to be an inconvenience to anybody. I didn't want to take up anybody's time, or just I didn't want to feel like a burden to anybody. And it was like that for the longest time, but I realized that these people that I was trying to please or impress didn't do me anything. They didn't serve me any purpose. I wasn't making money off of it. They didn't give me any peace at all. I was more anxious and stressed all the time of what other people thought of me, but it was all pointless. Like, there's no reason to strive to impress or even please anybody but yourself. There really is no reason for you to give your energy into something that isn't giving you an equal exchange back. I stand on, if you don't reciprocate my energy, you are not going to get it any longer. As soon as I started living that way, I lost friends, I lost relationships, I lost so much in my life, but I gained so much knowledge, I gained so much experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I think that every single lesson in my life has just been a huge eye-opening experience. Honestly, I could talk about this forever. That's where I'm going to leave this. I think that this one is pretty self-explanatory. This also brings me to my next point, that change is good and it is a sign of growth. It is so normal to be scared of change and to be scared to try new things. But I think that in these spots of uncomfort, that's where growth comes from. When you try something you've never tried, you learn something. Whether that's about whatever is new that you're trying, or maybe it's that you learn something new about yourself. You grow and you gain experience. You gain life experience. Nothing can take away from gaining life experience. There has been countless of things that I have tried, and you would never know the outcome unless you try. One of my favorite experiences that I like to talk about is the fact that I tried wrestling. Although it was in middle school, in my 8th grade year, I had played soccer my entire life, and I ended up tearing 2 ligaments in my ankle that season. The season was in fall, and in winter was wrestling. Although you might think that it would use your ankle, it wasn't super hard on my ankle. And my older brother did wrestling, so I was inspired, and I was like, how freaking cool would it be for me to be able to say, oh yeah, I wrestle. Oh yeah, I've tried wrestling before. Like, hell yeah, I'm not gonna shy myself away from experiences because of fear. Hello. That's how you begin to regret things, is because you let fear get in the way. When I wrestled, I was scared. Every single day I was scared. I would be in the car on the way to school on my match days thinking about how I was going to pin my opponent. Mind you, I only ever wrestled guys. 8th grade little me, 120 pounds, only wrestled dudes. Moral of the story, the outcome, I was MVP and I was league champion for my weight class, which was insane because that never would have happened had I not tried. And I had learned so much. Wrestling, I think it's not only super physically challenging, it is mentally challenging. And I believe that I won half of my matches in tournaments just because my mental was stronger than my opponent's. I knew that I believed in myself. I knew that I could do it. And my body followed. I think your mind is your strongest muscle. Your mind is the most powerful muscle in your body. But change is good. Trying new things is good. That is where you grow. This is where your new experiences come from, where you gain knowledge, and it boosts your self-esteem. It gives you more confidence knowing that you are not afraid to do things alone. You are not afraid to trust yourself. When making decisions, you know that you can trust yourself, and you have the confidence because you've done hard things before. Needless to say, try new things, make new experiences. Don't be afraid of change because change is good. That is where growth comes from. Now, to end off the video, the last thing I want to talk about is that you are the only person stopping yourself from achieving your goals. I know this can be a controversial topic because obviously everybody has responsibilities. We have our limitations, we have restrictions, there's places we need to be, and we can't all just get up and move across the country if that's what we really want to do. Although that sounds fantastic. We have school to go to, we have jobs, we have responsibilities. But I also believe that we are in control of so much more than we are taught. This is a topic that I could go on about forever, but I'm going to try and sum it up and actually make sense while I talk about this. There are so many things that we can do each day. The smallest things. We can create habits, we can create routines, we can understand what it is that we want, because half the time people don't even know what they want. If I'm being completely honest, if I wasn't afraid of what people thought of me, if I wasn't afraid of if I would fail, I would have made this YouTube channel years ago. And I'm done. I don't care anymore. There is no fear. And even if there is fear, I've overcome it. I'm not letting it stop me anymore. I'm not letting it hold me back from what I meant to do, because this is something that I've been wanting to do since I was a little girl. I think that for many people, there's things that they don't do because they're scared. That in itself is just like why we need to master our minds, why it's important to actually know who you are and know what our strengths and weaknesses are. Because once you master your mind, you're genuinely unstoppable. And I said this in the last video as I was talking about this book called The Mountain Is You by Brianna West. The best way to predict your future is to plan it. You are in control. And I just think that people don't know how much power they truly have within. They don't know the potential that they have, or maybe they even do, and they're just too scared to take action. If somebody told you that you couldn't fail, you would go and do that thing, right? There wouldn't be a doubt in your mind. You would just go and do it. You can only fail so many times before you win. And if somebody told you you had to fail 100 times before you win, you would strive to fail. You would fail 100 times. You would want to fail more and more times so that you could get to that 100 and get that win. But that's just the logic of probability. Like, put in the reps, put in the work, and you will eventually get to where you want to be. While yes, again, like I said, there are restrictions, there are limitations, you still have the power, you still have the control, you still have the mind. Whether you're spiritual or not, I believe that if God put a dream in your heart, He put it there for a reason, and He knows that you are capable. you wouldn't think about something every single day of your life if you weren't capable of it. Your mind sees that reality of you because it already exists in the future and you just have to go chase it. This is a topic I'm so passionate about because I genuinely believe that humans are incredible. We see all these talented people online every single day, and it's like they are no different from you. The only thing that they did is they took action. They tried. They failed. And they failed, and they failed, and they failed until they won. And now look, it's fascinating to see because it's like these celebrities, these millionaires, these people that we see and idolize online every day are not any different from us. They're human, and they've made mistakes. I'm sure they were once scared too, and they finally got over the fear, and now look. Like I said, all these things I could talk about for hours, and it's already getting dark outside, so this is where I'm gonna end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. I could yap about things like this for hours. If you enjoy this type of content, the sit down, kind of just yapping, let me know because I would be more than happy to make more of these videos in the future. If you found anything useful, or if you had any questions, or if this didn't even make sense, feel free to ask me questions in the comments. I'll try and clarify. But again, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.